you could bug out in 20 minutes, could you do it? Today we're going to show you how that's possible with the ultimate bug out trailer. This is my buddy Chris. He's going to show us what he's put together. Hope we find some value in it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, so this is a propane shower. The bucket is just to dump fresh water in. And I've got a 15-gallon water thing in the basement that's gonna come out here, like the ones with the two caps, like that have the two handles. It's like a 15-gallon that I can put the pump from the shower into, and then this all just runs off of, this is battery. This would go into your fresh water source, batteries to turn the pump on and off, and then you have the shower head to be able to wash and rinse. 1 pound propane bottle or a propane tree.
Okay. Yeah.
For the water to pump. I bypassed the pump on this one because it was 85 degrees and I didn't need the heat. So I just took the heater off and coupled the hoses together because the water was already plenty warm by itself.
Yeah.
And then, batteries for the pump.
I've never seen one like that before.
Yeah, I've got two of them in there.
I've seen the solar ones. I've seen the ones that are more like a hot water on demand. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, these are kind of a less expensive option and in some ways an easier option.
What is one of those costs?
New, 150, 200 bucks. I picked them up for under 100 each. I just watch for good deals. When I see a good deal on something, whether I need it or not, I'll pick it up.
And then you resell it or you keep it.
Yeah, and then if I decide I'm not using it or want something different, then I'll sell it. Sell it for what I paid for, basically, which would still be a pretty good deal for somebody. Stored in my bucket, so I always have a fresh water source for cleaning.
Is that how you picked up all your gear, is just watching Craigslist, KSL,
totally.
Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, most of it I'm on there all the time. If I see a good deal on something that I don't have, I'm gonna try that, I'll pick it up, and if I don't use it, I'll turn around and resell it. But I haven't shown you fuel source. I can put it over a campfire, be able to cook on if I don't have a different way to cook. So yeah, that's the same system as in the red bucket. It's the same kind of shower. One for showering and one for heating water for washing dishes and things. If I don't have a way to do a fire and boil water, I can run it through this and have it hot enough to be able to wash dishes. Which brings me, I have these two metal pans here that will fit right, if they're military, I think they're about 5 gallon. You can put them right on top of a camp chef, fill with water and boil to be able to wash your dishes in, or use it for cooking, that type of thing. But my primary use for these is dishwashing. I have 2 of them. There's another one somewhere back behind. I've got a microwave in here, a small microwave that'll run off of the EcoFlow. This is basic tool set, kind of basic tools. So if I had to do any kind of a repair or something, I could do the basics. It's not a high quality set, but it'll do the job in an emergency.
Like a Harbor Freight or something?
Yeah. These are mosquito repellent, battery powered. And then your camp area is supposed to repel up to 15-foot diameter. Up in here, so I've got an 8-gallon stock pot with another 5-gallon stock pot inside of it with lid that I could boil, cook, anything like that I needed to. Small microwave oven that'll run off of the EcoFlow. This one here, this is a propane oven. I've used it to bake cookies, muffins, things like that on camp when you're camping. It takes a quarter sheet, cookie sheet. I think 6 of those in one of my bins with parchment paper so that I can plop cookie dough on, not have to necessarily clean the pan when done because the parchment paper will take care of that. So I got 2 of those that run off of propane. And I've got 2 Dutch oven tables that I use these ovens on because first time I used one, I used it on a plastic table and didn't realize how hot the bottom got and started melting my table. It's like a jigsaw puzzle sometimes, trying to figure or fit everything in, but try to keep the sauce I use more regularly at the front and center. So up here I've got various pads, lighter weight, thin backpacking ones, some 3 or 2-inch foam pads, air self-inflating pads, good variety of different types. So if I'm out with somebody that doesn't have one, I can give them one. Got an air pump, dual action air pump. It's just manual, so you don't have to worry about batteries if there's no power.
And then you said those lights are motion activated?
Yeah, these lights are motion activated, battery powered. I can do it, I can switch it, the function on the end so that they're manually operated, or I prefer to just have it on motion. So when I get in here in the dark, it automatically comes on. I got 3 along here and 1 up above the door that points the other direction. EcoFlow power system. I think it's a 2300 peak watt or output. It's not gonna run at that level constant, but it has like the max output of, I think, 2300. Then I've gotta move a couple of things to show you these others.
See, I'm not the only one that organizes like this.
I know. This is a large grill box.
Oh, I have one of this. Those are
It'll go on top of the 3-burner Camp Chef.
those are nice.
We got 2 of those in here. This is an artisan pizza oven that'll go on top of the Camp Chef as well. So you can cook a pizza while you're out. I'm in the process of making a door for the front of it because it didn't come with the door. So I got stainless that I cut the fit, but it doesn't have to have the door. It just retains the heat better and cooks more evenly if you have a door on it. So I've got one of those. I'm looking for a second one. Ultimately, I'd like to have 2 complete setups of everything. So if I have a large group, I can cook twice as much. 2 portable air conditioner units that are rechargeable battery. It's like a swamp cooler. It works great in a smaller space, but not great in a large space.
So like in your tent. Or...
Yeah. And when I go out with multiple people, I'm going to put this up and point it at my cot and not everybody else. Because it has a fan that'll cool the tent a little bit, but with the swamp cooler action and the fan pointing directly on you, it works pretty well.
So you can reach the middle from each side.
Yeah. So right there, the stuff I pulled out, now beyond that is all the tents. So I could reach halfway in from both sides. On the back of this level was all my cots and chairs and things. On back of the bottom level was my buddy heaters, inflatable kayaks, inflatable paddle boards, and life jackets. And normally I have it a little bit more organized, but I just went out on the camp out and I haven't fully got it reorganized. On the door, I have a list of what I have in all my bins, and all my bins are numbered. So I can come in here. I had to put straps on, so when I'm driving, these racks are some racks that Costco sold that were made specifically for these 27-gallon totes that actually work really well. I like them, but I custom made these straps on my industrial sewing machine so that I have something to keep these from sliding out when I'm driving down the road and having stuff be everywhere when I got where I was going. And then I just have to make sure that I hook them back so that they can't slide off and tip all over. Okay, and then I have 2 of these. That one, apparently the battery is in it. I try to take it out when I'm transporting. When I go with youth groups, I have one that's hooked to the base with the bolt still, one that I can take off freely, pound a rebar in the ground, and then stick it next to my eating and food prep area so that I make everybody wash their hands and sanitize before touching anything. And that kind of leads into this sink we have here. This is probably one of my favorite things that I take with me on every trip. It's a foot powered or foot pump hand sink. Have your fresh water source down here. It holds about 5 gallons. Before I go out for a one-night trip, I'll put hot water from my sink so when I get out there it's warm all night. It has a built-in soap dispenser. I don't like to do it because if it were to tip, I make a mess everywhere. So I just use the little hand pump soap that you buy at any store. And then, so it's all foot pump operated. There's no water in it right now, so it's not gonna show you anything. Well, I guess there is a little bit still in the water line. And then it drains into this bucket here. These paint buckets with a pour spout work perfect because the little catch from the waste hose fits right in there. And then at the end of the night, I'll take the dirty water and dump it on my campfire to put out the campfire, fire safety and things like that. And you're not wasting your fresh water on putting out a fire. It doesn't really screw on there, but it fits in there perfectly and catches the wastewater.
And what is a setup like that usually run?
These, you can get these sinks for, I think I paid $30 for this one.
Oh my God.
They're $30 to $40. You can find them new online for $50. But if you watch, you can find, and then I have a second one. My second one has a wastewater tank that's separate. It's this style of tank, but I like the bucket still because it's easy to take and be able to pull the lid off and pour, where the other one, it's going to pour out of a spout or a opening like that. I really like this. I bought a second one a month or 2 ago. I haven't used it yet. It's the one that I'm telling you has the second tank similar to this for the wastewater. I haven't used it yet. I will this summer when we go for our long week-long camp with about 60 people. So I'll have both of them out. And then when I dump the wastewater, I'll refill the fresh water with just water out of the 5-gallon water cubes that you see at the stores. I have 2 of these EcoFlows. There's lots of brands out there that are great. I started with EcoFlow and I've been really happy with it. There are other brands that you could go with, Lion Energy, Goal Zero. There's different ones. They're all going to be great. It just depends on what you want, what you like. This is a solar panel that will hook into the EcoFlow on the back of the port here. Yeah, the orange one here is for the solar, and then you got your regular wall charger to recharge the unit, or yeah, you can.
That's just a standard power cord.
It's like the computer cord that you would have, that everybody has.
Right.
And they come with the power cord, but yeah, it's like a computer. One of the things I like about the EcoFlow is when you turn on your power over here, you have your main power on the bottom. It'll pull up, it'll tell you what your battery charge level is. And then when you plug in any kind of accessory, it'll tell you how much you're drawing and how long it will run at that level. So you have a time frame to work with. And then you can select, so you have your main power, you have your secondary power that would activate the USB, USB-Cs. And then if you flip it around, then you have your 12 volt and 110 outlets that you turn on the power source for each one of those, so you're not running power to stuff you're not using. So you turn those off. Then you have the regular 12 volt or like cigarette lighter adapter.
You can stack them though, right?
Yeah, you could stack another one on top. And they do have expansion battery packs that'll give you more life, but it doesn't necessarily have all the same features of the main unit. And sometimes I chose to just go with 2 main units because it's going to give me the same power essentially, but I have twice the outlets and things. So I guess the one drawback is if I drain them both, then I got to try to recharge them both at the same time, where the other one is going to drain in unison or whatever, or in a daisy chain format. And then you just want to make sure you turn the power back off so you don't drain the whole unit while it's just sitting in being stored. And then this is a solar panel for the EcoFlow. I've never had any issue. My trailer's normally in the shade, so it doesn't get as hot as if it was out in the sun. It's normally stored in the shade. So the solar panels here comes in that case, but then I can set it on the roof of my trailer. Set it on the roof of the trailer, or it has eyelets that you can hang with carabiners and hang it off a tree or off of the side of the trailer or somewhere, and then you can run the cord here up to your charge port on your EcoFlow to charge the solar. It says it'll charge this unit, I think it said fully in like 3.5 hours.
Nice.
If you have good sun.
Really good.
Yeah, if you have good sun on solar, like 3.5 hours to charge it.
Most of them don't. They take days to charge.
Oh, and then on the wall charger, it'll charge in an hour and a half.
Not what John told you. We're planning on keep that the repair do better do on our camp trailer, but then he's wanting to.
I want to make it so it's maybe so we can not have to plug in if we don't have to.
Oh, okay.
At all. I want to have like big battery banks. Yeah, solar.
Yeah, see, I can't sleep 10 in this, but I can sleep 10 in the tents that I have. My largest tent is a 10-man tent that has a stove jack for wood burning stove. As long as I have access to wood, I can run. And if I don't have access to wood, I'll run off of buddy heaters and run it that way. The buddy heaters work really well if you get the big buddy with the blower, especially, because then you get some forced air movement.
Right.
It works really good. I've got a bin, one of my bins, right here. Get this tarp off of there. So I have a bin because I do a lot of camping with youth group. I have a bin here that has some various games. I have some chessboards, frisbees, football, playing cards, the chess piece sets. I got some other things that kind of a mess right now because I haven't got it fully organized. A big giant Connect 4 game. Things to, if you're out for a long time and if you had to head for the hills, you're not going to go insane, bored out of your mind. So I have that, and then lots of extra lights, all sizes of batteries, extra headlights, extra things that if I was out, I would have plenty of power to be able to see and replace batteries and things.
One thing that we've done is we bought a
Briefcases.
Oh yeah, that has the sorter in it. Yeah.
We bought like a flat basically of just the cheap 99-cent solar lights that you're at Walmart. And so those go out on the table as soon as we get
Ambient light so you don't trip over paints or you don't run into the tree branch, you know.
And I have a lot of these just cheap light Harbor Freight ones. These work great in tents because they have the little hook, and you can do that one needs batteries. Some of these probably don't have batteries. I purposely don't store them with batteries so that they don't all go dead. Looks like all of these.
Because then you can magnetize it
Inside the machine or whatever.
like in John's books and in other videos and stuff, is that you need to have things that feel normal.
Yeah, the emergency use. I mean, you still want to enjoy yourself. I mean, it's gonna go a lot better if you're not hating every minute. I've got a whole outdoor movie system, Blu-ray, DVD, Blu-ray player that's Bluetooth, a projector, two of these speakers that work really well, that are Bluetooth, that are rechargeable, and I can recharge them off of my solar stuff if I need to, or off of the EcoFlow. So it's nice to have something to entertain you when you're out there for multiple days. And everything stores right back up in the shelf, makes it real easy to get stuff in and out. And then
Show us your tents and your hair.
so my trailer's a ramp blower. I like to put these jack stands under the back to make it more flat. It's feels a little better to walk on, getting stuff in and out than when it's sloped the whole time. And I have an awning that'll come off the back that covers the back, and an awning that'll come off the side that covers the side. When I'm out for multiple days, I'll put those on so that I have protection when I'm getting stuff in and out of the trailer and not getting rained on and getting stuff in the trailer wet. So then most of my sleeping bags, my booster quilts for the sleeping bags, my queen quilts that are just an addition, so really cold weather, surviving really cold weather with layering those. And then I've got various tents and things here. This here is a shower shelter. I have a shower platform that I've made out of a plastic outlet and wrapped it in artificial turf with drainage holes, so I can set up my propane shower inside of there, be able to use it and be able to be off of the dirt when you're rinsing and not getting all wet. Yeah, I still have privacy. So these are tents. My chairs, I have different styles of chairs, from the rocker chair, the zero gravity chairs, Kodiak, Lazy Bear, and Big Bear. That's the other one. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. Big Bear and Lazy Bear Kodiak chairs. I've got everything labeled, and I try to color code or try to color match 10 bags. So I have the tan tent goes with the tan poles, the green tent goes with the green poles, and it's just based on size. The tag is on, actually that was the tag for that bag. On these others, I have tags on them. Back here, I have a tag of which tent it is, so I know which size I'm getting out. Yeah, that's why some of that stuff's over there on the ground, and I gotta organize it better. On the bottom, I have buddy heaters. I've got life jackets, and I've got artificial turf that I can put in front of my tents for bad weather and keeping stuff from being tracked into the tent. I just like to have a clean tent and sleeping area and not have a bunch of stuff tracked inside of it. 8-foot movie screen for the outdoor movie system in a tube so that I don't have to move everything out to get it in and out, and protect the screen from damage driving down the road, bouncing.
And how the heck did you afford to do all this?
Time and trades, getting stuff that I don't use anymore, trading for stuff that I want. Bartering is always good. As long as it works for both parties. Bartering's great. Yeah, done various trades and things, but it's taken a lot of time to accumulate the stuff that I've got. But I feel like if I had to bug out and head to the hills, I could be completely comfortable for quite a while.
And what size is this trailer?
This is a 6x12 B-nose, but it's a 7-foot tall. I went with the extra tall. So that when I walk in, I plenty of room. Your standard 6x12 trailer is about a foot shorter, so it's harder to go in and have room to store stuff. All of my shelves are all on E-track, so it's all, any one of these shelves could be taken out and eliminated. I could build it all the way to the front of the trailer and make one bigger, one smaller if I wanted to, just by changing E-track brackets and 2x4s.
So it's a modular.
Yeah, and that's something that I did after I got the trailer. But
Put in all the plywood on the sides too, right?
no, the plywood on the walls was standard with the trailer when I purchased it. I ordered the trailer. I had the E-track, the center E-track put in when I bought the trailer. That one's welded to the frame, and then the one halfway up and halfway down between are ones that I added after the fact, so that I had more versatility on how I had my shelf arrangement. And I used to have it set up differently, and then as I've gotten different gear, I've changed it, and who knows, I may end up having to change it again to fit things in or eliminate things I'm not using as much and put other things in. It's nice to know that when I head out, I have everything that I could possibly ever need.
And if you had to evacuate, how fast could you get out of here?
I could probably be out of here 20 to 30 minutes by the time I add my water, food, my
Fuel.
gas and propane. I have all the stuff in my trailer so that my truck is open to be able to haul or put in 70, 80 gallons of water, gas, propane, all the kinds of things like that I don't want necessarily in with my other stuff, because I don't want my stuff smelling like gas, and I don't want water spilling on stuff, and makes it so that I can, just hook up and go and be out in probably 20 to 30 minutes by the time I fill up all my water. And some of them, when it gets warmer, I leave filled, but I don't leave them filled during the winter because I don't want them to freeze and crack.
Yeah, that's understandable. Cool. Well, show us how you store your fuel.
Yeah, so because most of my stuff runs off of gas or propane, I like to make sure that I have plenty of both on hand. I have a generator that I can run my house off of. If I was bugging in, be able to run propane or gas through my generator. Some of my gas cans are out to be filled. On all my gas cans, when I fill them, I tag when they were filled, so that I always have, within about 30 to 60 days, I try to recycle all my gas. I only fill my cans with premium, and then because it'll store a little bit better. And then when it gets after about 60 days roughly, and I'll dump it into one of my vehicles, burn it up, and then refill the cans with fresh gas.
So you don't use stable because you're recycling.
Yeah, I don't ever put stable because I am keeping fresh gas. When my tag fills up, like this one's almost all the way full, then I'll throw another tag on there and start the dates again. So I have a few that are out being filled because I just dumped them into my vehicle. Plenty of firewood. Little wasp going into here. Oh, if he goes in there, he'll just stay in there and die, I guess. So these I was able to pick up at a surplus sale a while back for $10 a piece, which they normally cost significantly more than that, like $800 to $1,000 for a cabinet this size. Given these aren't brand new, but they suit my needs. They make it safer to store it. I can lock these up so that somebody can't get in. They have locks on them, but it's a safer alternative to just storing cans in your garage. When I called city officials and our local fire chief and asked what regulations were on storing gas and propane, their main requirement was there's not really laws on how much you can store unless you're getting up in the 1,000-gallon range. Then they consider that unsafe and hoarding and other things. But at the level I'm at, they just said that it needs to be not stored in a dwelling, because if they come out and fight in a fire, they have to be able to get into wherever it's being stored. If they're fighting a fire, they don't want to store it in a shed. They don't want to store it in a garage. They want to store it out where if they come out, they can get access to it.
So this or one of those propane racks you see at the gas stations?
Yeah, well, the propane racks are open so that they're not really secure. These are considered to be fireproof containers, where the ones at like a gas station are screen or like expanded metal.
Right.
Cool. So you're ready to go.
Yep. I throw in whatever fuel I feel like I need for however long I'm going to be gone, and be able to run my generator, be able to fuel a vehicle if I had to. If there wasn't fuel source available, I could fuel probably my vehicle twice with the gas that I have, or I could run my generator.
Well, let's hope we don't need it.
Yeah, I could run my house off of the generator if I'm staying here, and as in an emergency, fuel is going to be one of the first things depleted, fuel and water.
That's a wrap for today's video. If you found some value in it, please like and subscribe. I hope you learned some things. There's a lot of good stuff in here I didn't know. We'll catch you next time.